Catherine, hi, welcome to the UKBC this year. Good performance for you earlier. How do you think it went?
It went much better than I was expecting, and yeah, it was really, I held it together pretty well, so I'm pretty pleased with that.
It's first time in the competition for you as well. What was your inspiration for entering this year?
Well, I asked Megan. Megan's one of the judges, and she works in our Glasgow store, and she has won it previously, the Scottish Heat, and she recommended it to anyone who wanted to learn more about coffee, and I felt like I'd reached my maximum potential in the shop, and so by entering the competition I've learned a lot more about coffee and being able to set up a grinder and making sure everything's running smoothly. So there's a lot of troubleshooting covered, and I feel a lot more confident now behind a machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your journey in coffee beans so far? How did you get into the industry?
Well, I started off working in a little coffee shop when I was at uni, and then we used artisan roast beans, and I got my first training there, and since then I've just been really into coffee and always wanted to work at Artisan Roast. A job came up and I cycled up with my CV and ended up working in the roastery for a while, which was really good, you know, learning how the coffee's roasted, and I was just bagging beans, and then progressively worked my way up, and now I manage the Broughton Street store.
Okay.
So I've been with Artisan for about 2.5 years now, and so I've been making coffee for about 4 of those years.
Right, okay. So you've got a real rounded experience in the industry then, a bit of roasting, a bit of brewing, barista.
Yeah, well, I was just viewer of the roaster, but yeah, a lot of good experience with aromas and watching Piotr roast, and a lot of useful information.
And that's important when you enter a competition like this, understanding tastes and flavours and where those come from within coffee.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my signature drink was all about aromas, and it's so important in the roasting process, as well as when you're extracting a good shot, and to know what to look out for, what's sour, what's bitter. Yes.
So tell us about those flavours in your signature drink. What were you after this year?
So through the Rwandan, I used a Rwandan bean. I put it through a Chemex before going on stage. Got a lot of honey aroma from that, and through those honey notes I got a Scottish honey, and I infused it with jasmine, because the jasmine was also present in the espresso. And I also, through the cappuccino, we had lavender coming through there. So I've been looking after a lavender plant for 2 weeks, and it made the journey down to Chester, thankfully. So yeah, I just incorporated all those aromas together, and like aroma and smelling is a major part of taste, so they all go hand in hand, and it just worked out really well. The Chemex and the honey balanced out any bitterness in the coffee, and it just produced a really sweet floral signature drink.
Sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. So for a newcomer entering next year, perhaps watching this, what was the biggest piece of advice you think you could give them?
Just get as much practice in as possible, and to try and relax as much as possible on the day. Yeah, that's about it. And just find a bean that you're really comfortable with. And like for me, I chose a Rwandan. I really love Rwandan beans. All the African beans are great. And yeah, if you love your coffee, then you should be fine.
Just relax. Final question: 3 words to describe your set today. What would those 3 words be?
Coffee tastes nice.
Sounds good. Catherine, best of luck this year. Thank you.